Martin Jacques, When China Rules the World, the End of the Western World and the Birth of a New Global Order. Embark on a fascinating journey into the rise of China as a global superpower and the potential end of Western domination in When China Rules the World by Martin Jacques. Delve into China's rapid modernization, dynamic economy, and unique cultural identity, all of which set it apart from its Western counterparts. Witness the unfolding of a new world order as China challenges traditional Western values and norms. Discover the 8 factors that make China different from the West and explore the direct consequences of these differences. Prepare for an eye-opening exploration of the rise of a new global force that will reshape the 21st century.
The rise of China as a world power. China's rise as a world power marks a historic shift in global power from the West to developing nations, particularly in East Asia. With years of surpluses and a cash-rich economy, East Asian nations, led by China, have overtaken Western nations in manufacturing and exporting. Contrary to assumptions that China will become more westernized and allow the West to continue dominating as it has done for centuries, China's rise challenges and undermines Western supremacy. As China increases its economic and political power, the West must confront this changing power dynamic and adapt to a new world order. From Japan's Westernization to China's industrial explosion. Japan voluntarily westernized to become industrialized, while China's developmental state focused on continued economic growth. Japan turned to Western markets, while China developed an economic infrastructure and opened up to foreign investments. Japan and China may share an economic history, but their paths to modernization were vastly different. Japan's existing elite made a voluntary decision to westernize in the 1860s to preserve their national essence and become more industrialized. This decision led to exponential economic growth after World War II and a shift from a pastoral farming economy to a fully industrialized system. As Japan's economy grew, it focused on Western markets and models, turning its back on Asian markets and culture. China's developmental state, on the other hand, focused on continued economic growth and stability instead of democracy. Mao Zedong's regime and its hardcore communist administrations made errors with 5-year plans and attempts at central government control. However, the early years of the People's Republic of China set the stage for China's industrial explosion. By the time China was ready to look outward for markets and investments, it already had an economic infrastructure in place. As a result, China became a model for a developmental state. China, a history of continuity and cultural identity. China's history is characterized by invasions, rare defeats, dynastic shifts, and advancements that have shaped its cultural identity. Despite this, China has never been a colony or completely occupied by another country. It developed many innovations, including science and math, gunpowder, large ships, woodblock printing, paper, naval exploration, and literacy. China's examination system created the world's foremost civil service class, ensuring the dynasties retained supreme power. Unlike Europe, China had no organized religious, business, or warrior elite to challenge the state, resulting in a centralized, policy and lawmaking authority with unlimited domestic power that has always ruled. Understanding China's economic power. China's economy, fueled by an abundance of cheap labor, has become a dominant force in the world. Its renminbi currency remains non-traded, and the country has a massive trade surplus with its commercial partners. While China's newly wealthy scene in its cities are growing, much of the population remains struggling with poverty. The state owns the majority of Chinese firms that compete abroad, including entire industries such as steel and aluminum. China also owns unimaginable cash reserves, with estimates suggesting 60% is held in US dollars. As a result, China has a significant impact on the US economy, and the two nations are mutually dependent on each other financially. China's unique rise. China's massive transformation is challenging the West's dominance, marking the dawn of a new era of contested modernity with a global impact. The country's distinct identity as a civilization state, its complex system of tributary state relations, its sense of race and ethnicity, and its unique political system, among other factors, make China unlike the West. China's rapid transformation is distinguished by its adaptability, strength, and capacity for self-regeneration. Its communist government has evolutionized with pragmatic policies and business acumen, forging powerful psychological ties with China's past and poised for a future of dominance. However, China's split personality, being both a developed and developing nation, poses challenges for development, political stability, and monetary policy. The end of colonialism. Developed nations rose to power on the backs of their colonial subjects, leaving them unable to progress. The fall of colonialism is as significant as the Russian Revolution, World War II, and the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Developing nations, led by China, will create a new world order, distinct from the West. And while China's methods may differ, their influence and power will ultimately compel others to do things their way. With twice as many Mandarin speakers as English speakers, the era of dominance for Western nations is coming to an end.
Martin Jacques, When China Rules the World, is an insightful examination of the historic shift in global power dynamics, as China's rapid modernization challenges Western dominance. China's unique blend of cultural pride, population scale, economic strength, and adaptability differentiate it from Western nations and allow it to take a powerful role in the 21st century. Be it through its tributary state system, sense of race and ethnicity, rapid transformation, or dual status as both developed and developing nation, China is forging its own path, paving the way for a new world order. Jacques' work serves as an essential compass to navigate the complexities of this unfolding story, and better understand a changing world driven by the rise of China,